Hey space explorers, welcome back to Ever wondered if astronauts just float around in space like weightless superheroes? Or maybe they're constantly falling into a giant cosmic abyss? Buckle up, because today we're unraveling the mystery of what astronauts really do in space. You've undoubtedly seen those iconic images of astronauts seemingly defying gravity as they glide effortlessly through the confines of their spacecraft. It's like something straight out of a science fiction movie, isn't it? This fantastic spectacle often leads us to think, are our astronaut friends actually floating around up there? Are they flying? Are they equipped with some sort of jetpacks or harnessing some magical space power to move around? Today we're diving deep into this cosmic conundrum to separate fact from fiction. So are they flying with jetpacks or some magical space power? Nope. The truth is a little more scientific. Astronauts are actually in a constant state of falling, but around Earth. Now, don't let your mind drift off into some sci-fi movie. It's not as terrifying as it sounds. Imagine throwing a ball with all your might right towards the horizon. What happens? The ball falls to the ground, right? But what if you could throw that ball so hard it misses the ground and keeps going around in a circle? That's essentially what's happening with astronauts and their spaceship. They're like passengers in a giant thrown ball hurtling through space. Let's dive a little deeper. You might wonder, why doesn't the spaceship just crash down to Earth? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Earth's gravity is constantly pulling on the spaceship, trying to bring it back down. But the spaceship isn't just falling downwards, it's also moving sideways at an incredible speed, about 17,500 miles per hour. Now picture this. The spaceship is like a sprinter on a circular track. It's moving so fast that every time it falls towards the center of the track, it ends up missing it and continues on its path. This creates a beautiful balance. The downward pull of gravity is constantly being missed due to the spaceship's sideways movement. This is why astronauts appear to be floating. They're in a state of free fall, but they're moving so fast that they keep missing the Earth. This is also why they don't feel the sensation of falling. The spaceship and everything inside it, including the astronauts, are falling at the same rate, creating the illusion of weightlessness. So the next time you see those cool videos of astronauts floating around in their spaceship, remember they're not defying gravity, they're working with it in a delicate dance of balance and motion. This creates a balance. The falling due to gravity is constantly missed by the sideways movement. This near absence of the feeling of falling is called microgravity. It's why astronauts seem to float effortlessly. So what exactly is this microgravity? Well, imagine being in an elevator and suddenly the cable snaps. For a brief moment, as you and the elevator are falling at the same speed, you'd feel weightless. This is the same sensation astronauts experience, but on a much larger and continuous scale. Now imagine this feeling prolonged indefinitely. That's the sensation of being in orbit. You're falling, but you're also moving forward fast enough to keep missing the Earth. This creates a sensation where you're not really falling down or floating up, but somewhere in between. It's this delicate balance that makes astronauts appear to be floating in space. That's kind of like what it's always like in space. So the answer is, astronauts experience both floating and falling. Yes, you heard it right. It might seem like they're just floating around in their spaceship, but in reality, they're constantly falling. Falling around the Earth, that is. Think back to the ball we threw. It never hits the ground because it's always missing it due to its sideways movement. This is exactly what's happening with our astronauts and their spaceship. They're in a state of free fall, but they miss the Earth because of their incredible sideways speed. This constant state of falling, coupled with the near absence of the feeling of falling, what we call microgravity, is what creates the illusion of floating. It's like being in a constant state of that weightless moment you feel when you jump really high. Did this make you feel a little lighter? Let us know in the comments below what surprised you the most about space travel. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic adventures. Who knows, maybe one day we'll all be floating around in space ourselves.